like stare at the camera, all weird.
Guys, I prayed for a better movie, but I don't think that helped.
Not bad. Yeah, it.
I want to welcome back to Coming This Summer. J.B. Martin, Ryan Sue, Brad Sharp. Nun 2, The Nun 2, the latest movie in the Conjuring cinematic universe, the CCU, the Cuckoo. That's what it is. It's the C
The
cinematic
Cuckoo.
universe. There's probably 8 movies now? 2 Nuns, La Llorona, 3 Conjurings, and 2 Annabelles.
something like that.
So like,
And there's another
8
Conjuring.
and another Conjuring
Last
on the way.
Rites is the new
I
one
would
coming.
assume there's another Annabelle. Maybe those did
Probably.
well. So whatever. I didn't know La Llorona was.
I didn't
was,
hear that. Yeah.
I didn't know it was in the Conjuring universe. I will say the movie was all right.
It was
to be honest.
okay.
It was good. It was a good horror movie.
It's like if you like tropey Halloween jump scare
Yeah.
movies, it's fine.
It's September and October horror movies are. It's right. It's like I want to get in the mood for Halloween, so I'm
I
gonna
want
watch
it to be
like
fall,
I'm
yeah.
gonna watch my Harry Potters,
Right.
and I'm gonna watch my Corpse Brides and my Nuns. You know what I mean? Like those kind of movies that are like
It's better than Insidious.
yeah. But this movie is like
That's my thing
like
for
horror,
the summer.
yeah.
This is a real, like, both of them have not great through plots. Like, the writing is
pretty
both
flimsy.
loosey-goosey.
yeah.
But Insidious just kind of meanders into whatever. And this is, like, at least, okay, this is a demon, probably a fallen angel. He's the reason that all of these crazy things have been happening in this
Sure.
string of events for 40 years. Okay,
Yeah.
cool, at least we got something.
It's not Red Man and
The
door.
further. Well, what
There's
does he
a
do? I don't know.
Further, and it's the door. No. This is straight like God, Jesus, Satan.
Right.
Fucking anything else? Nah. We're not fucking with like vampires and
No.
werewolves and red men and demon doors
No,
and
you're-
paint. Fuck that.
You're treated in
Yeah.
this universe of movies as if, like, maybe religion is real and there is God and there is Jesus
Sure.
and there's some demon
Which-
shit.
Fuck
and-
that.
Right, but that's what I'm saying. Like,
Yeah.
so you're grounded already into this.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, I can kind of believe it because it's more grounded.
It's built off an existing thing.
Right.
Right.
And nothing is so crazily over the top like Insidious, where you're like, I'm going to astral project into this thing, go through this door. But the only way I can stop the creature by just
Into this dimension.
painting over the door
And I
for
can
some
travel
reason.
to Iowa to California in 3 seconds if I go in the further.
And
like
this
it's
creature
fast traveling.
really like Jeepers Creepers because he sets his whole environment up with the record player and everything,
Yeah.
just like his Jeepers. Anyway, sorry.
Insidious.
Different movie.
The only reason we compare it so much to Insidious is because the Conjuring franchise houses Patrick Wilson as well.
Right, and I'm pretty sure James Wong's responsible,
pretty sure.
or
Yeah,
Blumhouse.
Yeah,
They all
it's-
have something to do with these franchises,
Right.
So
Right.
more or less,
They're all in
it's
the
all,
same.
You know, you see Patrick Wilson, you're like, which one is it?
Yeah.
You know,
Which Patrick Wilson? That's right. Yeah, that's right. The first thing I audibly grimaced at and I turned my nose up at was that dog shit logo, man. With the 2 ends backwards holding the U together and the
weird.
Roman numeral 2
Yeah,
just
they
in
did
the
the Roman.
center
Yeah,
of the fucking U.
that's
What
a
the
little,
fuck was
a little
that?
nitpicky, I
That
guess.
was-
But
oh my god! I was like, oh, okay, they're showing like the
Well,
guy
'cause-
getting set on fire, and I'm like, damn.
No,
all
the
right.
intro is good.
I'm
The
like,
movie starts
okay,
off good.
because it's creepy as fuck, and then that logo.
I don't know if you've noticed, but
that logo,
each
no,
logo
no.
for each franchise in Conjuring is like pretty much completely different than their other ones. Like,
Oh, is
none
it?
doesn't look anything like the Annabelle text, which doesn't
Okay,
really look
fair.
anything like the Conjuring.
text.
Which is why some of those you're like, oh, is this in the same?
Yeah,
So I think that's more
Yeah.
what they're trying to do. I don't know why.
I never
but
knew none was in the Conjuring franchise. I thought I watched them all because I watched
You
both Annabelles
probably
and 3
watched the first
Conjurings.
one, didn't see the after credit scene with Patrick Wilson.
I've never
because-
seen the first Nun.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I
thought you were
watched
saying-
it for the
okay.
first time over
Okay.
the weekend. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. It was. I liked the first movie.
I think the first one's better than the second one.
Yes. Yeah, the
but
first one's
they're
really tight. Like it's like an hour and a half.
yeah, and
Like,
this one
it
is the
goes.
same one.
Yeah. It's
With
the
an
same
extra
movie.
20 minutes to pretend like it's different, but then the movie turns into the first one. Like,
Yeah.
after about 20, 30 minutes, it becomes the first
The first
movie.
one doesn't waste any
No.
fucking time. It's like she's a priest or a nun in training, right?
Right.
And she hasn't taken her vows yet, and we got a father, and they're going to Romania to investigate a nun who killed herself, which doesn't happen, right?
Right.
So that's the first movie, and then they go investigate it. There's some demon or ancient evil. hole or-
Vavik?
Valak? I
Valak?
think it was Valak.
Valak.
A Valak object.
Valvik?
So 2 begins, and she's a full-on nun. There's
hiding.
rumors of what happened.
Yeah, she
from the
supposedly
first
lost her
movie.
mind and disappeared
And they sent her away to a
to a
hospital,
insane asylum.
insane
But really,
asylum.
she's just low-key
She's fine.
ghostbustering.
She's like a nun.
Yeah,
Yeah.
hiding.
So head nun, not the Pope, but like head nun of like her church.
Oh, like a cardinal. Oh, yeah, I was gonna say like the cardinal guy comes or whatever
Yeah.
to tell her.
And she's like,
I don't really care if you want to do it or
some
not.
nuns are killing themselves and religious people are dying. Apparently, they're all part of this same bloodline or whatever. We'll learn that later on. But we
This-
need you, the star of the first movie, to come
But
do
what about the guy who worked in the
our
first one?
thing.
Oh, he's dead.
He's dead.
And just so in case anyone's in here,
because we didn't cast him.
and yeah, and you haven't seen the first one, we are going
we're
to
gonna remind you.
give you the first movie in 10-minute increments throughout this entire movie, which is
Yeah.
why it's longer, so that we can squeeze in a recap
They
in
do-
chunks. There is literally a part
They do
where
flashbacks that are just reshoots.
where there's
though.
a nun. There is,
Yeah.
but there's like a part where there's an older nun telling the kid nuns the first movie,
yeah.
part by part, and I'm
Cutting-
like,
cutting
didn't even need to waste time.
They're skinning the potatoes. Yeah, and they're like, rumor
What?
has it.
Nuns killed themselves one by one, and another nun and a priest came in to investigate. Like you're telling me now. I'm like, I didn't have to watch the first movie. You guys are. They tell you the end
You
too.
caught me
How
up.
did they kill her? Well, she got an
The blood of
ancient blood of
Christ.
Christ and spit, and I'm like,
And then Frenchie came back and saved her life, and they kissed, and then he left to be a tomato farmer.
but little did she know he was possessed. Oh no, I guess they didn't go. But that's pretty much like.
I think you're just filling in the kids are like, I don't know about that one. The scene where she's like being recruited is the
It's the worst scene of the movie, in my
it's
opinion.
the studio telling the director they want another movie. They're like, you have to go and help
You
us
can't?
with this fucking thing because you did it the first
Yeah,
time.
that's what I was-
She's
or
like,
you won't.
No, can't or won't. Yeah.
And then it hard
cuts
cuts to.
on the train. Yeah. That scene was a conversation
It's Matrix
in
4.
studio.
It's Matrix
yeah.
4.
Yes. Yes, you have to make the game.
But
But I don't want to. Yeah.
we're gonna do it
You
anyway.
need to help us again.
Yeah.
No. Do it. Yeah. And we're already 20 minutes into the
It's-
fucking movie. Yeah.
You know, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
Like, it's
yeah,
one of
yeah.
those sequels where, oh, the first one made a bunch of money.
Mm-hmm.
Is that why the second one exists? The only reason the second
I
one
think it's
exists.
just because Conjuring is popular.
It is, but I mean,
and
like,
they can keep
but it was
pushing it out so they don't have to get Vera Farmiga and
Right.
Patrick Wilson back for
'Cause it's-
Conjuring movies because it's money.
Right.
Right. But
But this movie was basically, and
they
I'm
have
not
to do
kidding
with
you.
other characters.
It was what was the Tom Hanks ones he was doing for a while, based on all the books, like the demon, like the church religious movies.
Da Vinci Code.
Yes.
Yeah.
It was very. This was Da Vinci Code with more jump scares.
Horror. It's horror Da Vinci Code.
But it was though.
Yeah,
I mean,
or like,
there was like
Indiana or National Treasure.
you get like
almost.
these
Yeah.
weird
Yeah.
MacGuffin. There's a scene in the movie.
I love a good MacGuffin, man.
turns-
the MacGuffin in this movie was.
No, but the whole
Yeah.
setup,
I love
it
the
goes from a
MacGuffin.
rated R horror movie to a PG-13 Indiana Jones
Treasure
movie
hunting
with the
movie.
librarian who's like, I may just be he says this, I may just
glorified
be a
librarian."
glorified librarian, but I pay attention. And then he's like, gets the
Yeah.
book out, and he's been secretly
What my
tracking.
theories are.
Yeah, may I throw my theory? And then gets a book out because he's been paying attention
That's
to
the
where the
Indiana
MacGuffin
Jones.
is.
That's the Indiana Jones line. A glorified librarian is the Indiana Jones
And he
line.
just so happens to be, for some reason, keeping track of the bloodline and where the MacGuffin is the entire time. And he literally has like receipt stamp things over.
The
it. Like,
sequel was not planned from the first movie.
what?
The sequel was not planned from the first movie at all, dude. Because I think they show Patrick Wilson and Vera Farmiga at the end of the first one
They do.
exercising Frenchie.
No, they talk about how they tried to
Tried.
exercise and nothing could save him.
Oh, okay. I didn't. Okay, maybe
That's
I
the
missed that
line.
part. Okay,
It's
'cause I
something
was,
like-
getting ready to click out of my Max browser
Right.
when the movie was ending.
He
so
says something to the effect of like, not even whatever kind of exorcism could
that's why
help.
it pans on the students' faces and they're
Mhm.
like horrified.
Right.
Okay.
Because he's like
okay.
showing like slides and they're
Okay.
talking
I thought
about.
they just forgot, and like they didn't have a plan to make a second movie.
But no, because
when
they leave
did
the
that,
first one where
so-
they like pan out of his neck. And
Yeah.
he's got the crucifix upside
Upside
down,
down.
and it's like, which means they
Ooh.
definitely, if it made money, we're gonna make a second. But the story is so loose. They just ran the first
Hey, I
one
wanna,
again.
do cops exist at this point in time? Like
Well,
the
no.
detectives
See.
and stuff exist, right? So like, if this dude's getting hired everywhere, right, and everywhere he's being hired, people are, I don't know, killing themselves.
Churches keep their things private, like
Oh,
even
true.
like
I guess you're
again,
right.
not political, but like
It's in-house.
the molestation stuff. They
Okay.
get in trouble because they keep that stuff in house. So if they're if they're
Okay.
pastors and nuns or whatever
They
get
do
murdered,
send two young women nuns to go investigate a dude who got lit on fire and burned alive in a church.
Mhm.
And they literally go like
Because-
Sherlock Holmes and Watson in that bitch.
and they don't like women back then.
Yeah.
You think now's bad? They really didn't like women back
yeah,
then. So like,
and
yeah,
she's-
yeah.
with the black woman especially. Like,
Especially.
what the fuck, man?
They tell the story. They're like the guy preacher whatever, past whatever they call
Priest,
it,
whatever,
priest.
yeah.
Sorry, he got all the credit. Like, you know, they're like, he saved the day. What about the nun?
Nah,
She went
she's
insane,
crazy.
I think, or something. And then they're like, you're gonna go back and save us.
Yeah. And we're not going to give you credit for this one either.
Nope.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah, that's where when she's like, absolutely not. Like, fuck no. Like, I did all that shit and got nothing.
what do
like,
you
that's
mean?
not what it's about. But she's
How
like,
about no?
fuck no.
How about no? So, but the movie, like, not to try to spoil it, but it is the first movie over again. I mean, all the way down to the MacGuffin ends up swapping, and it's
Yeah.
not a real MacGuffin because, gotcha. It's
Oh, there's a MacGuffin. There's a real MacGuffin in this.
but there's a real MacGuffin, but
Yeah.
it turns out to be what the MacGuffin is on the first one, basically, because it's a bloodline thing, and it's a blood thing, and it's a blood, and it's all about the blood. And it's
That's
a saint's
true.
blood, but it's a different blood. But it's the blood, and it's because she had
It's
the
the blood
right
of-
blood.
It's the blood of Christ, though.
The first one was the blood of Christ. This
So
one
is
it's the
this
blood of the
one.
saint.
No, it's not.
It's the bloodline.
eyes, right?
But the eyes were a decoy
No, they weren't.
MacGuffin. They're a real thing, but they weren't
They were like-
what he thought they would. The demon thought they were going to be, because when they try to use the eye as the light her on fire, she goes right out because she's got the blood.
Oh, specifically on her, though.
Right.
Yes.
That's what I'm trying to
Yes.
say.
Okay.
Again,
Yeah,
with
yeah,
her,
yeah, yeah,
her
yeah,
solution, blood,
yes.
and her blood,
Yes.
and then they bless the wine, and it's more blood of Christ, and it's like blood.
Well,
blood,
that's
you know.
too, because she's
It's the
either
same movie.
related or is Vera Farmiga's character.
Right. But what I'm saying is,
Yeah.
like, they went hard on the blood again, double
Which
blood.
I think that's more accurate than we think, and that would be probably
I think
pretty
she's gonna
cool
be who
if
it
she
is.
is.
I think that's
like a younger Vera
surprise,
Farmiga. Because
yeah.
like the
She looks
mom,
just like
she's
her.
like, you have my eyes, the visions. Vera Farmiga gets visions. They
It's-
talk about that all the
that's-
time in the fucking
That's what
Conjuring
it's going to
movies.
be.
So it's
and
like
I haven't even seen the Conjuring movies
either it's
yet.
the mom, like her mom, and maybe really young Virgin Mary,
or
sort of fucking
cousin,
thing,
or
or
a
relation,
sister she didn't know she had, or something. Yeah.
something. I don't know.
I have to go watch the other ones now for payoff. God
But
damn
yeah.
it.
No, this movie has an A and a B plot. We spend the A plot with Irene, our main nun from the first movie, investigating nuns who have
Mhm.
killed themselves
Sherlock
all over
nun.
the world.
Yeah.
Sherlock
Nunlock
Nunlock Holmes.
Right.
And Frenchie, our guy from the first movie,
Who
just
is
like a
taking
tour
care?
guide?
Who's basically
A
he's a
groundskeeper.
groundskeeper.
Yeah,
who-
he's Hagrid. Yeah.
Who's in love with a teacher who has a daughter that goes to the boarding school.
because
So
we need to give him stakes.
yeah,
Yes.
we need tension.
We need to give
that
him
false,
Yeah.
thick, yummy tension that we know.
Yeah, because when we try and kill him off later in the movie, you need to care.
Because there's two fake out
So-
deaths with kids too.
Yeah.
Like when the kid watches the priest burn, and then it comes at him, and it's like, and then you don't see him again until 40 minutes. Like, oh no, he was fine. He witnessed the whole thing. He was fine.
He's fine. He's playing baseball. Yeah.
What do you
or
mean?
Soccer or whatever. Yeah. Like, nah, he watched a dude get burnt alive, get flung into the air and burnt alive. I don't think he'd be playing kickball the next
Yeah,
day, guys.
his mom doesn't want him to talk about it.
Except when he talks about it. Yeah, except when he specifically seeks out one of the nuns and gives them information about the thing. What a shitty mom.
Sometimes movies are too much.
I know.
And
Yeah.
and I mean that by like they give you too much information. What I call the midi-chlorian moment.
This
because
movie
that's what it
brings
is.
up those. They mention these like there's a scene where our two main nuns are in a room and there's a painting and like who's that? That's Saint
Oh.
Lucy. She was set on fire for
And her
reasons.
eyes were
and they-
gouged out before they set her on fire.
Yeah, but she wouldn't burn, so we had to gouge her eye. They gouged her eyes out too.
before she would burn, and then she burned, I
Why-
guess.
Why are you telling
Yeah,
me this?
because it's
If
going
not
to
for
be
it to be paid.
No.
If not for it to be brought up later.
Horror
it's such,
movies
like-
do that though.
Because it wasn't mentioned in the first movie. Because
Either.
they didn't
But
plan
I mean,
for it to be
that's
the eyes of
right.
Saint fucking Lucy.
Which
What?
again, then it twists into being the eyes
Nun
didn't
already
matter.
has the fucking
Right.
weird eyes. Is that because the nun's Saint Lucy? Which they didn't
but
fucking
wouldn't make any
explain?
sense because that means that Irene would be direct descendant of the demon. But it's
So-
Valak or whatever who kills Saint Lucy for some reason and has
But wasn't
sworn.
it people who gouged her eyes out and lit her on fire that
but
killed
that's
her?
the demon. Supposedly was the one that led that to do it because they show his face and he has that like look and he's the
Yeah.
one.
With the teeth in the eyes.
It's too much. Like there's
too much.
too much backstory, and I'm sure we're gonna get comments going, "No, guys, you're overanalyzing. It's really this simple." But it is almost like they took Hocus Pocus and kind of went nuts with it. Is what I was thinking when I'm watching it. Like, okay, if they wanted to make Hocus Pocus R, okay,
Yeah.
no.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I mean,
okay.
not, but I see where you're
kinda.
coming from. Yeah.
Like they burn her. She like
yeah.
is good.
Origin, at least. Yeah, I can see that.
I don't know. It
it's-
gets so cloudy and murky.
Yeah.
It's again, if you want to put it on a Halloween time and you want to scare the teenagers, or you guys want
Sure.
to have a popcorn night with the family, because it's gory but not really. Again,
Yeah.
it's in that weird wheelhouse where there's a couple scenes of blood,
They
but
cut
for the,
away.
but for the most part,
You just see like blood dripping on
dripping.
shoes.
It's not. It's really not gory.
No.
It's not. It's really not. It's weird. Oh, the head mistress of the school. There's a little blood when she gets beat by
but
your dead
it's
son.
dark.
You're right.
You can't even
You only
see
see it when they find the body and she's covered with a pool of blood.
She's
But
just
it's not
laying in
gory.
blood.
But it's not gory.
You don't see the
Yeah.
kid like smacking her in the face with like
it
the
cuts,
metal
it
thing.
go in the black. And you
Yeah,
just
or
see
like
her go,
bashing her
"Oh."
head in. Like, no, I want to see it like
Yeah.
stabbing her in the eye and give me some like Evil Dead shit, man. Don't half step where you're gonna half step and have the nun just do the sickest fucking TikTok transitions of all fucking time
There
with
was
the,
some
into the
cool
backgrounds. Yeah,
In and out of paintings
do
and
this.
magazine things and
like around a corner, she just
those were the creepiest moments of the movie.
So
That makeup job
stupid.
is amazing 40 feet away.
yeah up
That kind of
close.
shit, like in the dark, like
Up
what is
close.
that across the room? Creepy. Sitting next to you is like,
Yeah, she's like on the subway.
yeah, you'd be like,
Nah,
meh,
nah.
that's just a weirdo.
Yeah. Yeah. I think the nun is one of the shittiest horror monsters looking wise in any movie. I genuinely think that the nun
And
does
that's-
not look scary.
But see, that's why I think they only show it in
like
you
even
get
when it's like
3 or
ripping
4
out of the
seconds
painting and
at
shit.
like a time.
Eh.
Like okay, don't look at it anymore because if
Yeah.
you study it too much, you're gonna be like, eh.
Some of the jump scares are so obvious too. Like kid opens door, sees nun. Like right. Because you just spent 4 seconds of
Yeah.
silence. I didn't think you weren't gonna try and jump scare me because you
Oh, the
did
fake
4
out when she
seconds of
crawls through
silence.
the tunnel and then the demon headmistress is in there and she doesn't move and then she crawls back out and they're like, "What'd you see?" And she's like, "I think, yeah." And they had to like make you think that they weren't. The demon thing wasn't gonna come get you. And obviously, they didn't do anything but back 1 foot away
Like,
from
of
the hole
course
in the
it
wall.
was.
Of course it is. Like, get out of the
course it is.
room.
Right.
Get out of
Of
the
course
room.
it is. And
But
they're
again,
all screaming.
Again, we're nitpicking horror movies,
on, man.
and that's a horror trope,
Come
and
on,
that's
man.
what they do.
Yeah.
That's
What the
what
fuck?
it is, you know.
What the fuck? Especially, I guess, like you're dealing with like priests and like church, so they like believe it. You know, like
Right.
demons and Satan, and like there's the kids play the game, like, oh, if you see the eye of Satan, don't look away.
Yeah, or it'll come get you.
And then later in the movie, Satan actually shows up for like 2 seconds. It just kind of like
But they tell you 100
runs
times
at him a little bit.
it like the demon probes your mind and makes things that specifically target, you know, your fear or terror. They keep saying that, almost like it's Harry Potter.
Yeah,
Mm,
but it's real. It
right.
fucking
But yeah,
stabs
but
one of
it's
the
like
kids.
real.
Yeah.
But yet it's supposed to.
But then goes away when the nun burns. So it's not Satan, but it's Satan.
right. It's weird.
What?
The whole thing is just like again.
This
Don't
movie
think
made-
about it too much.
This movie made no
Boo.
sense. Yeah. Ooh.
Oh, you're scared.
You got me.
Yeah, but hold on, you're scared. Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, it's the Pixar thing. Don't think about it. If you
Don't
think
think
about
about
it,
it.
it just melts into
Yeah.
a puddle.
Yeah. Yeah.
I liked it more than Insidious, which doesn't say a lot. But this year's horror movies have been kind of
Meh.
meh. I'm gonna give it like.
I liked it better than Boogeyman, I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll
It was-
say I liked it
it
better
was
than Boogeyman.
A rated R version of Boogeyman.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Honestly,
This is just a monster.
fire, kill the monster with fire, people dying in fire. It was very similar.
I want to be scared, man. Every time I go to a horror movie and I'm like, am I like a sociopath or fucking? Well, yeah, but I mean, I ask just to ask.
Not
It's a
fully or
rhetorical.
close.
It's a rhetorical question, but I ask it. Numbers
right.
out of 10. We got to do numbers out of 10. Numbers.
5.9.
Give it a number out of 10. I'm gonna give it
5.9.
I'm gonna give it 6 nuns out of 10 nuns.
5.9.
I'll give it a 6.9. No. 6 out of 10.
6.09.
6 out of 10. Yeah, 6 out of 10 nuns.
I mean, like I said, it's fine. There's nothing bad, like overly bad. We're nitpicking because again, it's a horror movie, and they do that in every horror movie. I mean, it's like
It's so
set it up,
flimsy,
execute,
man. Yeah,
set it
it's
up,
so flimsy.
show you what we're gonna do.
You could have trimmed 30 minutes off this fucking movie of
10 at
of
least.
the first half.
10 for
Nah,
sure.
30, a full 30. No.
Well, no, I mean
Just
10
the
or
first
15.
30 minutes flat. Doesn't matter where it cuts. Just start it 30 minutes in and
Well,
go.
they gave us too much backstory of the teacher and the daughter
Yeah,
with not a lot of payoff.
because we had to give them stakes.
Well, because
like-
we had to care about the girl, but we already
'Cause we
cared
had to
about
care
the girl.
about
I
the
didn't care about her
girl.
teacher mom.
I didn't give a
because we
fuck.
didn't get enough of that.
Yeah, it's just
she's,
for Frenchie to get
she's
laid.
flirting with Frenchie, and
Yeah.
he like cares about her, but she was kind of a
It's
dick
more
to
for the
Frenchie
daughter.
for 80% of the movie. So why
Yeah.
do I care about her now? I don't care about the daughter.
Mhm.
Like the mom was like shoved in at the last second. Care about her too.
Yeah, and also, yeah. Well, she had to be with the other kids getting hurt, so she could do something.
And the other kids are too much. They're bullies. I get it. And then they're bullies. I got it. And then, hey, guess what? They're super bullies. And that one girl, we're going to show you a fourth time just how much of a monster she really is.
Yeah, you go check on Satan.
I got it.
You go look at Satan. I hear footsteps upstairs. You go
You
check
go.
on it.
No, screw you, bitch. You go.
Yeah, I'd be like, fuck you,
Yeah.
and then go back to sleep.
Yeah, you
like,
figure
that's
it
your
out.
problem. Yeah.
That sounds like a you issue.
Like, bitch, I didn't wake up from it. Like,
Yeah, go
whoever
back to
heard it,
bed.
smirred it. Or
All right. Like, subscribe, all that stuff. We will have my big.
CTS, whoever heard her smirred it.
It's going on a shirt. We'll have my big fat Greek wedding this week.
I'd wear it.
We're gonna have Bottoms that actually showed up at our theater this weekend. All of a sudden.
Yeah.
So we'll go check that out.
yeah.
And then we'll have pretty much anything else out there.
Yeah,
We're
Elizabeth
catching up.
Banks is a producer on
Yeah, so
that
we'll go
one.
see it.
And they said from the makers of Cocaine Bear and Pitch Perfect.
So I'm like, all right, and it's
Like,
90.
guys, producer. She didn't direct the fucking movie.
No, but that means she put up some cash. And
Yeah.
It's probably decent.
yeah. Yeah.
And she's probably got a cameo in it.
She's probably in it. I would
Right.
assume. Maybe one of the teachers.
Maybe.
Maybe she's a principal.
So, fingers crossed. And
Yeah.
it's 90 minutes on the button.
Okay.
And it's rated R.
It's about a high school girls fight club. So,
It's different.
yeah.
We
They get
all-
thrown in jail for the summer, and they got a lie saying it was women's self-defense class.
Okay. We always say we
and
want
then they
something
actually have to do
original.
the class.
That's
I'm like, all right, that's
original.
a good premise.
That's a
I'll watch
premise.
it. That's a premise. Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
better than,
It'll probably end with some Cobra Kai tournament shit. Yeah.
I was going to say, it's better than the same 11 horror movies we've seen this year, just over and over again, slightly different. People shitted on the comedy horror movies, but they've been the best this year.
Blackening was, yeah.
Haunted Mansion,
Haunted
The
Mansion.
Blackening.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah.
Damn.
Some of the best. Yeah. And
All right.
still a little scary.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, we're
Yeah,
done.
We're done.
If I want to put some sweets all up in my teeth, it's none of your business.
If she brings sticky sugar booms up into her room,
It's none of your business. If you think my cavity is a travesty,